Hi guys, I thought I would drop in and show you my new acquisitions. I belong to a Neofinetia group on Facebook, and they place orders every few months that come directly from Korea. So Saturday was the big day that we were kind of all waiting for to get the new arrivals. They come wrapped in paper and, just with the little tags. So I bought Kirin Maru, Aoshinju, Senzi, Shuntanu, Sioho, Odong, Temakongo, Jahong, Seong, and a Kibana. Now, a couple of these are duplicates. The Kibana that I have is doing so well, and they do flower, so I decided to buy another one of those. I want to mount this one eventually. And the Odong that I already had, I mounted, so I happen to like this one, so I bought another one. The Temakongo was the very first Neofinetia that I bought, and this piece is what was left of the first one for whatever the reason, and it's supposed to be easy. It really has not done anything, and I lost a piece of that, so I did buy another one. I decided I was going to mount it on this dragon stone and kind of see what happens. Let's see if I can give you a better picture. Anyway, this piece really is not attached. I'm going to use the roots of the bigger piece just to hold it in place, because there's really nothing to attach it with, and hopefully it will attach itself ultimately. But I thought the dragonstone was pretty cool, and I've seen that used in some of the videos where they do moss terrariums and so forth. They use the dragonstone, but it's really an aquarium stone. Anyway, when I get set up to start mossing these Neofinetias, I will come back in and show you how I do one and kind of show you the process for anybody who's interested. Okay, back soon. Okay, so I'm back. I tried to get set up and be organized here, and I selected this guy because it had some pretty good roots that I could easily manipulate. I've had them soaking in water to make them a little bit more malleable, which is helpful in this process. So in Japan or in Korea or wherever they do the mossing of, or anybody for that matter, you can use a top of a wine bottle or something that has any sort of round shape. But what I did was I took a piece of chain link fence post. It seemed to be the right dimension, and this is actually the end of the post, so it was level. My husband had cut a bunch of these pieces to make another system I have for my remote orchids. Then we took a fence post end, which is rounded on the top, as you can see, and that's just about the right size to wrap the moss. Anyway, what I have been doing is putting a little bit of moss on the top first. This time I'm not going to do it. This time I'm just going to put the plant. I just feel like the roots need to be a little bit more free. They're supposed to have really good airflow, and I'm not using traditional pots. I'm just using these 3-inch clay pots. They do have holes in them, but a traditional pot has a completely open base. But anyway, this actually works well in my Neofinetia turntable mount. I take the 3-inch plastic net pots, and I actually cut the bottom out. So again, so the roots can sort of hang freely inside the pot. Take a smaller, this is not the typical net pot for Neofinetia, but I just use these little tiny net pots, and I cut the edge off of the pot just so it will fit down in here once it's mossed up. This little guy is teeny tiny, so I don't know if you can see that clearly. Anyway, for this one, I actually cut an opening in the top because I don't want to stretch the roots. So I'm just going to stick him down in here and moss him up. That's the plan anyway. He's so teeny. Not sure how to handle that, but that's what I'm going to do. And then I put them in the smaller, these little small clay pots. This is the tiniest one I have. It's so cute. Anyway, so what you do, and if you want, you can moss, put a little bit of moss on the post. Then you set this guy on here. And I have pre-wetted the long-stranded moss, and this is really, really good quality moss. You can buy it on Amazon. It's not quite as nice as this. Again, I bought this from somebody in the Facebook group, and this is beautiful quality that comes from Australia. Not inexpensive. Then you just start laying it over the roots and wrapping it. This is how I do it. Let me preface it by saying that. This is how I do it. Everybody has a little bit of a different way. Some people do it this way, but that's what I put one up close to the base of the plant. That's how I started. Now some people tuck it in, some people add string to hold it in place. I don't do that. I'll show you what I do at the end. But you want a nice mound of moss, nice plump. So just keep wrapping. And I'm going to go as low as I can here. And then I just kind of squeeze it. I've squeezed a lot of the water out, but I did get it pretty wet. And if you're doing a lot of them, like a lot of people just take the whole bag of moss and put it in a tub and then bring it out. And I just do a little bit at a time because I'm not sure how much I'll need. But this is the deal. I just keep wrapping. Wrapping and squeezing. But again, it's really helpful if you've got good quality moss. And again, this came directly from Australia through someone in the Facebook group. Like, as I said, this is not, you can get it on Amazon, but not this. And it works. It works. But this is better, I have to say. So I don't know, she must buy it in bulk. I'm not sure. I haven't tried to do that myself, but this is how they, they put them in really pretty pots, not the clay, but the just really decorative pots for showing. And again, in my other video, I talked about the pots a little bit. I have some pretty pots, but they're not typical Neofinetia pots. But I've taken to leaving them in the clay just because I know the clay breathes a little bit better. So this is looking pretty good. I might need it a little bit tighter, or a little bit fatter, I should say. Yeah, this is beautiful moss. And again, some people add string, and I've done it. I've tried it all different ways, but I find my little solution to work pretty well. Okay, I got a little bit more of the roots that are, I actually like to leave a little bit of the roots showing at the top. Again, I just feel like they do better if they can breathe. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull it off of here. Hopefully without pulling it apart. Got it wrapped pretty tight. So I have a little opening in the bottom. Now I stick my little net pot in there to keep the shape. I messed it up a little bit. I just squeezed the moss a little bit. Let me try it in here first. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So then I just do a little bit of a paper towel blanket. Again, this is how I do it. And take some little clips. And clip it. Then put it in the pot. And you know, in a couple of days, I'll take the little blanket off. Okay, I got a phone call in the middle of that, so I'll have to see what happened. Anyway, that's basically it. She's all done and ready for her tag, which you put right in front like that. Hopefully you can see that. This was Shantanu. Okay, I will finish up the mossing and come back in and show you all the mossed up and finished plants. Okay, they're all done and they're little paper coats, which I leave on probably for about 24 hours. And then sometimes I have to go back in and do a little extra mossing to make sure that they fit in the pot snugly. This moss is actually really good. I think I said Australia, it's actually New Zealand and it's 1 Mile Moss Supply. I did not buy it directly from them. I bought it from somebody else in the Facebook group, but it really is superior, so I would probably try to contact them another time. They may not sell directly to individuals, but I will give it a try because it really is nice. Anyway, I'll come back in once more when I take the paper off and show you the final result. Okay, so it's all complete. They've dried. The moss is actually crispy. And I only water them once a week. That's what seems to work for me. Everybody has their own sort of climate and the way they operate. But it took a couple of days, but that's what I do. Anyway, I've got one that I did not unwrap. I thought I would go ahead and unwrap it here. Take the clip off. And there it is. And then I just plop it back down. And the roots, of course, everything's open. So the roots can go freely to the bottom of the pot. So that's basically it. Hopefully anybody watching this got something out of it, and hopefully I get some flowers. I had to cut the spike off of this one because there's no way that that's going to flower after its long journey. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.